Welcome everyone to another edition of 4D, Def's Daily Dose of Dota. I'm your host, Michael Deficus Plumley, and today is October 24th? Yep. It's episode 13 of Def's Daily Dose of Dota, and today we're going to be doing a mid lane featuring Dendi, everyone's favorite mid lane hero, unless you're from the USA, in which case maybe you're an EG fan and a big Arteezy fan, like myself. But today we're going to be doing a little bit different of a hero than Dendi is used to. And to show you, we're going to go ahead and hop into the split cam. And what I wanted to bring up, if I can get it to work, is the list of Dendi heroes. Mid lane heroes, ones that are popular. You'll see some very familiar faces on here. Shadow Fiend, notable. His Pudge, even coming out at Star Ladder Star Series Season 10 today. Invoker, very popular. Tinker, Storm Spirit, Queen of Pain, Puck. What you don't see on this list anywhere here is Ancient Apparition. And we have a draft up in the top right of your screen. There's no fifth hero yet, as I always like to pause it right before that fifth hero comes out. But it will be an Ancient Apparition today from Dendi, and we're going to examine how he fares in mid lane, how he uses his proximity or his far away to the top lane and the bottom lane to be able to use his Ice Blast, one of the signature abilities of Ancient Apparition, to maximum effect. For those not familiar with it, Ice Blast negates healing, does a certain amount of damage, and then it also causes an instant kill on heroes if they fall below a threshold. And if you look up at the Virtus Pro draft, you already see one hero, if not two, including Living Armor, that do healing. So we're going to hop into the game and see the fifth pick coming out from Virtus Pro that will give us yet another reason on why this Ancient Apparition came out. Let's hop into the game. As always, I like to just look at the compositions vaguely for the teams here before the fifth pick. We have a nice variety of heroes coming out. For Navi, 2 strength heroes, though IO is going to be playing a support with the Intelligent Skywrath Mage. We have a Weaver, excellent carry into the late game. Legion Commander also be playing carry, just missing that mid hero for Dendi. We see several of them have been banned out. The Brewmaster's gone. The Queen of Pain also gone. Likewise for Virtus Pro, we see another combination of heroes. The Razor, Agility, excellent carry hero going into the late game. Might fall off past the 60-minute mark. We see our duo of supports, Treant Protector and Witch Doctor, both providing heals capable of sustaining in fights, if for instance there is a forced out duel from a Legion Commander or Weaver, who has excellent chasing ability. We're going to let the game roll here and see what the final picks are. Switch it to free camera. We can speed this up since it is a replay.
10 seconds remaining.
We see a Dragon Knight
turn to pick.
come out for Virtus Pro. Excellent mid laner, but also worth noting, one of his talents provides health regen that can also be negated by an Ancient Apparition pick. So we're going to see this final pick coming out.
10. Virtus Pro.
It's an Ancient Apparition for the Dendi. Not a popular hero for him, as we already looked at his stats board on Dota Buff.
Prepare for battle.
He's probably only 1/10 of the number of games played as a hero like Shadow Fiend, at least on his main account. So looking at the lanes, the setup, it will be Dendi on the mid. He's starting with the 2 pooled Tangos, as every person you meet in an unranked match spams in chat asking for after he first picks Tinker. A completed Null Talisman and 3 Iron Branch GG branches, just for that maximum stats at the beginning. We see Vanscore supporting Funnick on Legion Commander. And luckily, since this is a replay, pauses don't have to last very long here. We're going to zip through this. It's going to be Weaver, Avost's Weaver, rather. 8 pooled Tangos. And a Ring of Protection.
30 seconds
filling out
to battle.
that easy lane. And a Skywrath Mage who will be roaming FNG on that. On VP's side, before the start. Let's just look at the two pooled tangos for the Dragon Knight mid. Sudoi on the Bat Rider, off lane. Love looking at these couriers. Very interesting courier, looks like a rhino. Haven't seen that in a long time. Probably not since
The battle
TI4.
begins.
But the game is beginning.
What sort of prize?
The easy lane being occupied by possibly a tri-lane with Witch Doctor providing heals and a stun Treant Protector providing the heals and massive right-click damage, almost double some heroes. 57 on Witch Doctor, 85. And then our carry will be the Razor. I always like to look at the block here. Dendi, perhaps a little bit unfamiliar, will get the worst end of that block there. He's starting out with 1 point in Chilling Touch just to get some extra damage, be able to effectively last hit. And we see him positioning up towards the top here. He knows that there are multiple heroes in lane, there won't be any ganks right now, and he just wants to try and avoid these breathe fires coming out. Other than that, he's just getting some right clicks off on Dragon Knight. You'll see that they do very similar right click damage early on. Dendi actually a little higher at 58. 53 to 63. Whereas 50 to 56. Taking some excess damage. He wanted to get that last hit there. The wave is pushing up on his tower and he will retreat. He knows that Dragon Knight doesn't have another breathe fire. And he's picking up his second
Not on my watch.
rank, or his second talent, the second level, in the Cold Feet. It's Ancient Apparition's stun. He'll be saving that for now. Uses a Chilling Touch and also grabs a Healing Salve. He's taking a little extra damage in the beginning than he would have liked to. But he's quickly leveling up to level 3 with these creeps under his tower. Not spending the talent yet. And also, just continuing to block these creeps. Wants to pull it back, if possible, ever so slightly. And he does. The Creequilibrium is a little closer to mid as opposed to up on top. Cold Feet being used here, forcing Dragon Knight to run away from his position, and just allowing Dendi to reposition for another denial. And what might be 2 denials. Great job on his part. You'll see not many last hits, 7. Although, Dragon Knight has 5, but more importantly, 8 denials. The Healing Salve has now arrived, and he will regen all the way up to full health.
Has been requited.
Just shy. And he'll just continue last hitting here. He uses a Chilling Touch, and what's this? It's a roaming support coming in to assist. He picks up that saved talent and Ice Vortex, and continues to pursue under the tower. Close, but no cigar. Only 4-second cooldown on Ice Vortex, along with a very long range. You can see almost a full screen length away. Probably 1200 range or so. So you can definitely place those ahead of a hero that you're attempting to chase down. But we see him continue to be in this position on the high ground. Just trying to prevent these breathe fires from catching both his creeps and himself. A second point in Cold Feet. It also does do damage over time. If you hold down Alt, you can see the total damages. Amounts that are very similar for an ability that's common with most heroes' Q. For instance, Breathe Fire. You'll see 90, 170, 240, 300 damage. Very similar to what Cold Feet maxes out at. He will be using that in combination with an Ice Vortex that'll slow his opponent, making it more difficult for him to run away. That 740 break distance to prevent the stun coming out. But he's just going to continue battling for last hits. You see him being very competitive on the denials, greatly limiting this Dragon Knight's farm. And he's level 5. Meanwhile, Funnick has his work cut out for him in the top lane. Love the set that he has on him. Oh, he actually has a gem for Duel's Loss. That's an interesting gem. Great ratio you see there. 155 to 14 losses. Dendi now has his bottle as his first purchased item, in addition to the Healing Salve. And here's a roaming support, make that 2. We saw the Vortex in addition to the Cold Feet,
Goes out.
securing the kill. Also, we saw it is nighttime, but the combination of vision and our Dragon Knight being on the low ground assisted in that kill. Great support play from the two Navi heroes, rotating mid to help out their mid laner. And he's already up to another 300 gold. They're going to try and go again on him. This Ice Vortex, and it's now level 6, will help secure a kill. 2 kills in quick succession. We saw 600 damage being dealt out there. And once again, with the very large range of Ice Vortex, you should be able to position that directly in the line of a retreating enemy. Going back to the last hits, because Dragon Knight has died twice here, Ancient Apparition just continuing to last hit, climb the board. Even though this is not a well-rehearsed character for Dendi, last hitting is still last hitting. Pretty good attack animation on Ancient Apparition. And now with the bottle, we see him scouting out this top rune and picking it up. It's going to be a regen rune. Meanwhile, his supports controlling the bottom rune. Excellent communication. And what's that? We see an Ice Blast coming out bottom. One of the benefits of having Ancient Apparition in the mid lane, in addition to him getting some levels, as that Cold Feet will force Dragon Knight away. In addition to getting early levels and an Ice Blast at only the 5-minute mark.
No.
We see a rotating support claiming a 3rd kill on Dragon Knight. And with Ice Blast up in 3 seconds, we can easily see a rotation from IO into an opposing enemy's lane and an Ice Blast coming through to help secure a kill. The kind of support that not a lot of mid lanes can offer. And showing that you don't need a Nature's Prophet to be able to support Funnick in the top lane. As we see Razor ticking down, he's getting low, and Dendi secures a killing spree. If he hasn't been practicing AA, he's definitely been practicing that Ice Blast, it seems. That's just a lot of games and a lot of experience. We see Dendi just continuing to deny. Our Dragon Knight has died several times, but that doesn't account entirely for his anemic net worth. And Dendi's actually topping the board here. 1,500 gold. He could start to go on the ult stick, but we'll see what comes out for our mid laner of Navi. We see Funnick doing quite well in the top lane. It's pushing up towards the tower. And what's that? It's a rotation from Vanscore that helped Legion Commander secure a duel to hold in place a hero as an Ice Blast hit.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
At the 8-minute mark, we saw Dendi grab that rune, just starting to refill his mana. And with a 40-second cooldown on Ice Blast,
bottom tower is under attack.
You definitely could use a bottle to always be prepared to use it when it's off of cooldown. And of course, he is an intelligence hero, he is a caster, so all 4 of his abilities costing mana. A pretty respectable intelligence gain if I can actually hover over it. 2.6. But also worth noting is his 2.2 agility gain, which will ensure that he has a fair amount of armor in the later levels. And what's this? We see a rotation come out on Dendi. Old stick cast, or rather the ultimate from Dragon Knight. And although Dendi falls, he made sure to get an Ice Blast off on the Dragon Knight. So even though he died, he did a substantial amount of damage and was able to get off his abilities. But great rotation from his Navi teammates, helping to secure another kill on Witch Doctor, and this might be a 3rd kill with the Weaver
your fate.
incessantly pursuing there. Already maxing out Shikuchi. FNG just occupying the mid lane briefly. He's low on health, so he can't do much to contest, but he can at least soak up a little bit of XP.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But staying at max range.
Dire's structures are
He knows Dendi will be joining him again soon. Choosing to pick up a Midas.
Radiant's middle
As
tower is
StarCraft
under
2 caster
attack.
Artosis would say, when you're ahead, get more ahead. But using the long range of Ice Vortex, he slows down our hero. He knows he's going to be rotating for the 10-minute rune. And with 2 ults in concert, they secure
Dire's top
another
tower
kill
has been denied.
on Dragon Knight. And also secure a rune for Ancient Apparition. He'll be able to bottle up his mana and just return to farming in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Avos walking by that top regeneration rune. We've had some excellent control of the runes coming out by Navi, as to be expected. They've already amassed an 11-3 kill count. And taking a brief look at the team worth, should not be surprising. A substantial lead, about 7,000 for Navi, at the 11-minute mark. But Dendi, just continuing to go back to work on that last hitting. Faring very well here. Using a little bottle trick. Skywrath Mage coming back from the well. He drops it. Skywrath Mage immediately picks it up. Full mana. And they immediately go on the offensive. Securing a kill on a low HP Witch Doctor. And with the assistance of Avos here, securing another kill on the Razor. 3 heroes together. Full bottle charges. And although he did have his
Dire's
damage
middle
sapped
tower
there,
is under attack.
the majority of his damage will be coming out of spells, and of course the utility from items like Ice Vortex and Cold Feet. Not to mention the healing prevented on Ice Blast. We'll see him move into the jungle to use a Midas. He's getting in at such an early time here. Now level 11.
Dire's top tower
Already
is under
1,700
attack.
gold. We should see a large amount of items and gold coming this way through the course of this game, if it goes that long at all. 13-3, Navi are in a commanding position, though only the top tier 1 and the bottom tier 1 have fallen. We see a smoke rotation coming out from VP, but Navi at the 12-minute mark are all rotating with a smoke themselves. They may have detected the heroes in the jungle, and now they hop in. And a brilliant engage there. Ice Blast coming out immediately on the dueled hero. You can't run. Almost ensuring that kill for Navi. Van score falling low, but not quite. And just excellent teamwork there. 1,000 damage coming out with the assistance of press the attack, a duel, overwhelming odds, and of course the blink initiation, and as always the Ice Blast contributing to the fights. We saw yet another kill on the back end. Avos is just going crazy here.
Dire's middle tower
And another
is
Ice
under
Blast
attack.
will claim a kill on a Razor. Dendi dominating what was 1,700 gold a minute and a half ago is now up to 2,700. We'll have to see what he chooses as his first item of progression. It's the 13-minute mark. And once again another fight, another Ice Blast.
Radiant's
Just moving
middle
back into the
tower is
jungle.
under attack.
It's 10 seconds until the runes spawn. He has an empty bottle. So he'll Midas, kill one creep camp, and leave. Meanwhile, our Avos carry already has his
Radiant's middle
Perseverance.
tower is under attack.
1,700 gold. Looking at the levels. This Jotum Treant Protector pick really getting set back, level 4. Not getting a lot done. And isn't able to assist with what is typically a global ability, Living Armor, but not much good to put it on a Dragon Knight if the person killing him is an Ancient Apparition with that healing negation of Ice Blast. It's 14 minutes in and Dendi's still last hitting here. He has full mana, so just putting down a defensive Ice Vortex. He doesn't have a lot of vision of the enemy. Not sure where they are. So his support FNG is helping him out in the mid lane, making a very easy retreat path. Ice Vortex lasts for 16 seconds, so you could get 3, 4, maybe even 5 up, briefly. And at only 110 mana, we see the initiation. It's 4 heroes, quickly claiming the kill on our 2 heroes.
You darken my
And we saw another night phase come to an end
Radiant's bottom tower is under
with an
attack.
effective smoke gank from Virtus Pro. Several ultimates having to be expended there. The Death Ward, the Eye of the Storm, the Elder Dragon form. But it was much needed for this VP squad. Treant Protector is now level 6. We see Funnick looking to engage. Dragon Knight was low. He's going to be forced back. And the tower still stands. We see our first item come out. It's an Ice Blast. Also, just getting it on cooldown, hoping to trigger on someone. And he does hit on the Witch Doctor,
Dire's
but not on the
middle
Dragon
tower
Knight.
is under attack.
We see them pressing the advantage in the mid lane with Ancient Apparition,
Dire's
using
middle
his
tower
Swell of Gold to
has
pick up a
fallen.
Mystic Staff. Could go Shiva's, but we'll probably use it for a Hex Stick.
Dire's middle
Give him a little
tower is
more
under
control in
attack.
these fights, as well as making a Cold Feet that much more difficult to escape from. The tier 1 falling. And this
Dire's
tier 2 is
middle
being
tower
pressed up
is
upon.
under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
What is that?
We see the Living Armor come out. All 4 heroes are mid. Make that 5 with the Legion Commander sitting on the high
Dire's
ground.
middle tower is under attack.
And at the 17-minute mark, Navi are very much attempting to capitalize on this early kill deficit they have. Or kill advantage. But the Bat Rider engaging, and instantly, Ice Blast come out, along with an Ice Vortex, very quickly from our caster Dendi on the Ancient Apparition. They're going to be initiating as they know the relocation is returning. Funnick leaps in, wins the duel, and Witch Doctor, with the help of an Overgrowth, does secure a kill. As VP defend the tier 2 with our first large team fight 5-on-5 of the game. And with that, we're going to take a break. That's definitely what I would consider the end of the early game. You could call it the laning phase. We've seen Ancient Apparition have great success in the mid lane against not only the Dragon Knight, who he's secured several kills on, but also the Witch Doctor and the Treant Protector, who are both centered around not only dealing damage in Witch Doctor's case, but also heals, which are negated by the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. That was the 5th pick from Navi, and it's working to great success right now. After this relaxing music break, we'll continue with the mid-game and see how episode 13 of 4D, featuring Navi Dendi's Ancient Apparition, develops. We'll be back after this.